Hey, and welcome to another edition of the Wake Up Late with Dougie Show. I'm your host, Dougie Almeida, coming to you from Simpsonville, South Carolina, where I'm blending in every day. So, welcome to the show. Took a couple weeks off, got some work done, and who knows. But we will have another show here in the end of August. It'll be regular here on the show, Mr. Steve Mudflap McGrew, and we thank Brian Dunkelman, who was the original co-host of the American Idol and comic friend. And so we're going to see the three of us going to get together pretty much at the end of the month. Stay tuned for that. But today is a great show. And, honest, I even mentioned to everybody on the show today, on the pre-show, a little weird day, a lot of crying today. I don't know why the sorrow hit me hard today, but I, it is what it is, man. And here we are. So couldn't think of a person to probably be more important for me to speak to today. One, because he's funny as shit. Number two, he's a good friend of mine. And B, he is a man of faith, I would say. And I think all those three wrap up perfectly in the trilogy of our guest today, Mr. Sean Grant, is with us today. What's up, brother?
Yo, what up, Dougie? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, I was I was flipping through my intro there. You know what I mean? Because like I
Yeah,
mentioned before the show, it was one of those weird days. Like I was just trying to keep myself in a rhythm. You know, so
yeah, man. No, dude, and you're one of the people, man. I'm grateful. I forget how long I've been doing comedy, but like, I've known you at least 10 years, so at least, right?
yeah,
It's gotta be at this point.
yeah.
So yeah, dude, it's like, I'm glad that I get to reconnect with a buddy, man. Like we knew each other way back in the South Florida days. I've seen you all over the country. I'm proud of you. I love what you're doing in all these festivals, man, and killing the game. So yeah,
Thanks, man.
I'm glad to be back, man. I was on the show. It had to be like 4 years ago, or maybe
Yeah,
more. Yeah, I remember being
yeah,
on Wake Up Late with Dougie. A while back.
yeah. And I think we were zooming at that time, or if not, we probably were in the studio back in Florida.
Yeah, I remember I was in a studio apart. I was in like a tiny. That's how I remember the time frame because
Yeah,
not that I'm in a bigger place now. It's not much bigger. But I got AC, and so it's not as terrible. But I remember, yeah, I was in the back of a Mexican family's house, basically. It's like a one bedroom.
oh wow, dude. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Well, I'm glad
yeah,
you're in better. I'm glad your living arrangements are much more apropos. Nothing's more
yeah,
important than that. Nothing more important than that, dude. I moved here to South Carolina. When my wife
yeah,
passed, a lot of people are like, going to come back to Florida. I'm like, what are you nuts? It's beautiful up here. It's like
yeah.
quiet, no traffic. People are polite. They're sweet. My
Right,
neighbors
right,
were bringing me food and all this stuff when all this happened and all the support. Well,
yeah,
meanwhile, my wife's family was taking shit out of my house. That's another story. But
right, right.
we're gonna eventually talk about that, and
Yeah.
but not on today's show. Well, dude, I think one of the funny moments was you were headlining the El Paso comic strip,
Oh
and
yeah,
Aiko Tanaka was there, right? Very funny young lady. She was your feature, so I got to meet her.
yeah.
A-
Oh,
And that
dude.
was like my audition. That was my audition to get in front of Bart there and see if I can get some work
Yeah, yeah. Have you been back there? That was a while back.
once. Once, dude.
Yeah,
God.
that's a cool club. That's
Yeah, it's yeah, dude.
yeah,
It's fun to be there, man. Fun to be there. Aiko's
yeah.
funny. She's Japanese. Very, very funny. I can do my wife bit, and her first line when she
Oh
got says like,
yeah.
"Oh, so you met my husband?" I'm
I
ripping on my
remember
wife.
that. That was great. Oh,
But
dude.
dude, that was
Yeah.
the
No,
first. That was there. There was a moment in that time. I don't know if I have a joke. It's called the wet fact joke, and I told that joke there that weekend when I was with you.
yeah,
And to this day, it's the biggest laugh I ever got. Which happened. The joke is a wordplay on wet back, wet back. Uh, and I was nervous to tell that joke that weekend. A, because I'm auditioning, and B, there was like 200 Mexican U.S. military men
right.
from the base, and I thought I was going to get my ass kicked.
Yeah.
But I told the joke, and it fucking killed. So all
Oh,
part of
dude.
a weekend we spent together.
You're badass, dude. You're fearless, man. You used to do Muay Thai, right? Is that right? Or some type of, I
Yeah,
know, this martial arts, so you ain't worried about it.
yeah. That's a good thing. Even well, I just had my knee operated on, so I'm not capable at the moment. If anybody can kick my ass. So this is like the
That's
the
it.
eye of the hurricane where you can come up to
Uh,
Dougie and beat my ass for the next couple weeks because my
you
knees
should
will
have
just you
told
just
him,
take out my
man. He
Yeah.
should have
Well,
told him.
I'll
Now
listen.
people
Now they're
gonna
all going to.
try you.
Yeah. Well, now they're all going to be aiming from the right knee, dude. And they're going to catch the fucking left hook
Oh,
or the.
I'm about to say, don't say
So
which
we'll
knee
see.
it is. Oh shit.
No, they.
They're going for the
I'll give
right
it to them.
knee.
I'll even let them. How about you, dude? Were you ever a fighter? I mean, you ever a fighter? Were you ever a guy who got into confrontations much and had to, go to fisticuffs? Had a,
You know what? I was in. I would go to boxing gyms with my boy. He was a Golden Gloves champion, and he did karate too. My friend Joseph Floyd, godfather of both his kids. I can't fight. I was too fat to box because I couldn't make the. Weight discipline is a big deal in boxing.
yeah,
But I would hold pads and I would spar a little bit. But I'm really good. Here's the thing: if you don't want to fight, you gotta blitz with your mouth. You gotta like motherfucker.
yeah,
Like I do that
yeah,
really good, and then
yeah,
people, I go all out in the first. I don't let
yeah,
the confrontation build because now the other guy's really like he's probably looking at me, analyzing, going, I think I can kick this guy's ass. But if you blitz and really bring it all at once, then they usually back down. And I'm pretty fast too, just in case.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, listen, and you have to do what you got to do. Similar to that, like I would, since I was the confident one. If you were the guy in there going, "Bah, bah, 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 bah," and I'm the guy sitting in the back going,
Kill it. Like oh, I
you
can't
know what I
wait.
mean? Like when this is over, but I would, to avoid confrontation, I would use humor. A lot of times, I'm like, look, man, don't make another bad mistake today. Besides the shirt you're wearing, because if you want to go to if you want to go to blows with me, dude, it's not going to end well. I can promise you. It's not.
Oh man.
I don't know
Have you
how
ever had a
fucked up I'm
heckler?
going to get.
Yeah.
Have I ever had a
Yeah. Have you
heckler?
ever no a heckler that's tried to fight, like get physical with you? Talking about his shirt or anything like that?
Nah, I had a comic, a fellow comic, this crazy attorney dude out of Palm Beach who was doing comedy for a while, and he was saying shit, and he started
What?
throwing my merch onto the stage. It was in Boynton
What?
Beach, Lake Worth. It was a show in Lake Worth, and
Oh
yeah, the
God.
guy who started throwing my shit on stage, and he came up. He was like a tall. He was really. He was psychotic. The guy was fucking had issues. So he came walking. He came like 6'3", tall guy. He came like like walking towards the stage, and I basically took the mic stand. I had it like you hold it like this, but I basically just kind of did a little. I just kind of did a little, and like
Woo!
if he would have came up, I'd have El Caban, like just knocked his ass out.
Yeah.
You
Busted
know,
that melon, homeboy. Dang.
you
That's
got something to
crazy.
say?
What's
Think
up?
think about
Nah,
the
man.
think about some of the comics who got on stage. Ariel is a young comedian out of Jersey. She was the girl that got the
Yeah.
beer can thrown at her by a fucking MAGA type person, or Trumpy in the audience in Jersey, and she ended up getting on the on Kimmel. She ended up doing getting a spot on Kimmel from
Oh
that
shit! Wait a
interaction.
minute. Now you got me having
Yeah,
ideas, man. I might need to get my ass
yeah.
kicked. Have somebody throw some water at me or something, man. Shit, I'm gonna have to stage it.
Yeah, did you see Cardi B get pissed and throw the mic at the? Did you see that? That
Oh,
just came out too.
dude, she did that like 2 nights in a row. The first night she hit her DJ for playing the wrong song, and then she hits a fan. Man, yeah. I mean, hopefully, shit, to get some money, I'll take that. I'll take it. It
Yeah,
sounded like it hit good too. It sounded like a boom, like a Chris Rock mic drop, like a really hard
yeah. It
pow.
was it was a thump. It was a thump, and
Yeah.
you know, and and everybody kept talking about how she was obviously lip syncing because you kept hearing her voice on the coming through the speakers. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Man,
Are
all
you a
that
Cardi
money.
B fan? Are you a Cardi B fan, Sean?
No, I like her ass. I don't know her music that much. I think her
Yeah,
ass is great. I think that's part of it. I think most people like her ass. I think I don't know if it's
yeah. I
fake
mean,
or
she's
not.
a
Not that it matters.
yeah. I mean, listen. Let's all assume it's real, and I will agree. Obviously, a body that is built for speed, as my one friend used to say. Which meant
Yeah.
pounding, and definitely. And you know what? I always like the person that comes from nothing to something. So from a stripper,
Yeah.
to a recording artist. God bless that jump. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's something missing there.
When you
Uh,
assume, you make an ass out of you and Cardi B
that's
out of
right.
nothing.
That's the new saying. Yeah, and you end up with a fucking microphone on your head. Well,
Yeah.
absolutely. Uh, yeah, listen, there's a lot of people. I had a friend that told me she was worried about that. Like, you ever get attacked? Like, I mean, do you worry about that? Do you think do I have to actually you prepare? Do you mentally get prepared in case somebody comes up on you?
Luckily, man, 18 years of doing this shit, nothing. I did have a guy at Swamp Grass Willie's. I don't know if you remember this spot. This lady named Treese used to run it down in South Florida. Artist Treese. But yeah, some guy. But I never felt endangered. But he walked up to the stage, and big biker dude, and I was messing with them because they were talking in the back by the bar, and I didn't think they could hear me, but they were disrupting the show a little bit. But I had enough of the audience to where I could mimic, like lip sync their conversation, and
Right.
kind of get this crowd into it while not making them shut up. So I was just like, saying stuff like, "Oh man, I can't wait to get out of here and have sex with my sister," whatever. I'm mimicking their, and it looks like the conversation they're having
Yeah.
because I'm matching their
Yeah.
energy. And
Yeah.
one of
It's
them,
brilliant.
without even breaking, he just like turns, like I didn't think he hear me. Turns, walks to the stage, picks me up by the shoulder, and
Uh-oh.
puts me down. That was it. But he started laughing. He just picked me up, and then I froze. Nobody did nothing. It was black people, everybody. And then the joke after that was like, "Why didn't y'all help me? Like, what was wrong with y'all?"
Yeah.
And then I made fun of the black folk because black people won't help you. They'd be like, "Well, he shouldn't. I didn't tell him to do that. Ain't
He
nobody
must have
tell him
been
to mess with them boys."
intimidating. He must have been
Yeah,
intimidating shit. Or they thought it was
huge.
part of the show. Now that's interesting that,
Right.
you were in that moment where now a big man's coming to you on stage. I'm gonna share another story with you. It involves Cisco, actually, the comic of a
Oh
potential
yeah.
big scene. Yeah, and same thing, similar. Any rate, so and you, but the man came up to you and put his hands on you. You didn't like, like what the fuck, bitch. You didn't slap away. You just
Right.
let the man.
No struggle. You know what? It was like because I looked in his eye, it didn't seem like he was. I've
Uh,
been in fights before that, and it seemed like he was there because he picked me up, but it was like almost like he hugged me a little bit and put me
yeah,
down. But the hug was just he was big, like you said. Like I'm on stage,
shit.
and he's big
Yeah, well,
enough to be like just like like a foot taller than me, or like half a foot while I'm on stage. Not a big stage, but yeah,
yeah,
pick me up, man. And but for some reason, I never
hmm,
felt like if he had been rushing me, or if I felt,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. You know when you're on stage and you just feel like you're in a zone, like you can sense energy in a way. So I didn't feel
No,
endangered for any reason. I just
yeah,
felt like
you
yeah,
did. You read the, like, the mannerisms, you know what I mean?
right,
You weren't racist and go, "Look at this white cracker ass fucking,
right,
hillbilly motherfucker gonna try to come, and
right,
think he's Rocky." He thinks he's Rocky, and he's gonna beat Apollo Creed tonight. And, but you
right.
sensed, you looked through and said, "Ah, this guy's just, what's he gonna do?" You just had that
Right,
feeling.
and it actually helped the show because it gave that rant. Like everybody was quiet, even the bar quieted down. What the hell is that? And
That's
there's always some moments like that in a show. Like you can hear when a comedian may or may not capitalize on it, but it gets quiet,
yeah,
and it's a way that a show can either turn for the better or turn for the worse. And that was kind of
yeah,
the lesson there. I'm grateful that because some comedians, like you said, would react in panic, and
right.
because they're not in tune with the vibe of the room, they're just gonna and fear and all that's gonna make it
Mm.
awkward. But
Yeah.
that's why we do this to not make it awkward. Try to flip that energy.
Yeah, and two things. One, as a comedian, yes, definitely, and two, as a producer, it's great when people can keep their composure in a moment like
Right.
that, and that's why you hire people with experience, and who have been around.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes, a lot of
Yes,
times,
sir.
comics say, "Hey, how come I don't get booked on the show?" I'm like, "Well, because some guy may come and try to pick you up, and you won't handle it like Sean G did, and
What I'm
just let the
saying,
man
man.
hold him." And
Dude, everybody who I
yeah,
met or who I try to talk to, I'm like, look, dude, this is a job. Yeah, you might be funny, but you have to be a pro. There's a difference between a professional and a funny comic. There's some guys who are super funny, right? But they're not
yeah,
professional for many reasons. One, they may not, be on time, that type of stuff, and they may not, just the basic fundamentals of being professional. But above
right,
that, even like how you react if the show's not going your way. Do you shit on the
right,
show? Do you shit on the venue? Do you take the whole show
right.
down with you? or do you stay a pro? Realize maybe I was misbooked, or maybe who knows,
Right.
right? Like I had Dave. Somebody wanted a clean show. It was a buddy of mine having like a wedding. Oh, Dougie.
Yeah, we're good. I'm here.
Oh, we're good. Oh, sorry. It was a buddy of mine having like a wedding thing. And I hired Dave Williamson, but the crowd was like these older black ex gang member dudes, and all this stuff, and some family, some kids. But of course, Dave is clean and all that. So that's why. But Dave, maybe they weren't vibing at first with what he was saying, or his who knows, right? Like, it could have been like they just weren't connecting with him because of their own assumptions about who he might be. But then after a while, he
Yeah.
started getting them because he kept going. Wow, you guys are great. You guys are great. And it was in a park. It was a terrible situation. I've apologized to
Yeah.
Dave over that many times. But
Yeah,
to
outside
watch him,
outside venue.
yeah, yeah. Oh man, people walking by. It was horrible. But to watch him be a pro and just make the
Yeah.
audience eventually catch up to him, it was beautiful.
Yeah, you have to, I had a comic years ago. We thought he was. I always called this kid the most overrated open mic comic in the country. But he never get word. His name will never pass again on my list. But he did that. He did that in one of my rooms. He was eating shit on stage, and then he turned to the crowd like, "Oh, you're all gonna die anyway. You don't know funny." And I mean, the owner looked up at me. I'm like, I know. What can I tell you, dude? Yeah. You reminded me when you're talking about that guy coming up to the stage. I did a comedy show, Wise Guys comedy show at a strip club in South Florida, which I mentioned that producer. There's a few deal breakers right off the bat when somebody says, "Hey, I have a venue. I'd like you to book like a show." Two deal breakers. One of them still dealing with, but intermission. Like some people want to have an intermission on the show, and or to outside venue. You know what I mean?
Right.
Outside venue. Listen, especially when I was in Florida, I'm like, what are you not? You know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah.
why don't we? What else can we add to the potential? Anything that can
Oh,
fuck this
like,
thing up. Getting a comic to
yeah.
fly in. I'm going to fly comics into an outdoor venue
Right.
in Florida. What could go wrong? So,
Oh, dude,
uh,
dude.
yeah. But so I did
I did a
the strip
dog park. Oh,
club.
sorry. Yeah.
I was so at this club, and Cisco was headlining it, and there was a stripper girl.
Hey.
She did comedy. She did comedy for a little bit, and then she came out in Daisy Duke shorts, so she fucked with. But basically, there was members of the Celtic Motor Club, bike club, like Celtic, like a fucking biker gang, like eight,
Oh,
nine
okay.
fucking huge dudes just there. There's like 15 people. Half of them were the biker gang. And Cisco pointed at one of these big dudes who wasn't having sleeves, like, "Well, you're fat. You know what I'm talking about." And oh, well, fuck, there you go. Like they all looked at Cisco like, "He ain't fat, motherfucker. You're fat." Like you can tell a biker guy is
Ah,
fat, dude. And they eventually got up and they were pissed and they were moaning and shit. Same thing.
ooh,
Those guys are in the area between the strip club and this private room where we're doing the show, and they hear uh, uh, and they eventually, no, who was on the stage at that point was who has a big nose and Florida plays a guitar. Anyway, he was headlining. Cisco just came up, so they come back. This guy is like making fun of the biker dude. Like, what was the matter with that guy? Why was he pissed? All this shit. Calm down, Tim. What's the matter with you? Singing a song, and then the guys
right.
outside hearing this shit, just him and his buddy come back in, fucking two Celtic gang members, Celtic jackets, vests, and
Jeez.
I'm in the audience going, oh, here we go. Dougie's gonna have people are gonna have to witness, Dougie full
Full,
outright,
full, fully
survival mode because
timed
I'm gonna have to take,
ass beat.
yeah, I'm gonna have to take these big ass badass guys down. It's not gonna be a fun night.
Oh,
So
man,
these
dude.
guys walk up to the stage, and I don't know why it's blanking on me in his name right now. It'll hit me, of course. But he's on stage. He's playing his guitar, and he's got a big nose. And it's kind of funny guy, and he's funny guy. And the biker guy comes up and goes, "Oh, you think you're funny?" He pushes the mic stand, pushes the mic into the dude's face, like, "Pff," and I'm like, I'm
Oh,
standing there like 4 feet away, like standing up halfway, like, and I'm like, and then they just walk away. I'm like, oh, okay, you know. So
oh,
it blew
jeez.
up. It was a whole big mess. I was threatening to call the police, and the owner of the club's mob guys like, no police.
Oh,
But nevertheless,
oh,
that's what
right,
happens.
right, right.
So
Damn, dude. Yeah, man. This is a You know what? And I get it. Like that's messed up, right? And this dude didn't deserve that. Really, Cisco should have got his. No, it's fine. I love Cisco though.
he
Nobody
already
should have
he
got
already
their ass
split.
whooped. Right? Fucking Cisco. Oh my God, this dude, he was gone. But somebody got his ass whooped. But yeah, man, I would say, it should keep the comedians honest in the sense that, what we do, we're getting up in front of a mob, basically, right?
Yeah.
And at the early stages of comedy, that's what it was. You get, they
Mhm.
call medicine shows back in the old South or whatever, the old West, and guys would get out, they perform, and people gather around the wagon and they buy the medicine, right? Like a lot of even black acts where it got big, Williams and Walker, all these other guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, they can back then they could tar and feather you if they didn't like your act or whoop your ass or worse, right? But I feel like too
Yeah.
many people find safety in comedy who shouldn't be doing comedy because they don't feel like it has that danger element, right? Like they're just doing it for themselves or for therapy. And which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. If you find the right
Yeah.
venues for that, great. But as a professional, once you're stepping into these situations and you don't know how to handle them professionally, you be putting yourself in a lot of danger, man. And apparently other people. I mean,
Yeah.
Cisco's a professional. This is a crazy nights happen to everybody. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, the motivation to want to keep the crowd because there's some guys that's coming like a wrecking ball. They want that kind of shit, or damn near
Yeah.
you think they want it because they create that kind of energy in the room.
Yeah, but there's the people that can do it, that are real like the crowd work, like guys like a Rich Voss that can fuck with everybody and they love it.
Oh
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
and
I
you
mean that
feel
guy
like
like
it's a
that
show
can.
still. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he called the woman one time. She looked like a homeless poor gypsy, like like an ugly, like not very good looking homeless gypsy or something. He called her like that, and she was like, but she came up after him to talk to him, like that's fucking Voss. I mean, I'd say that the girl's gonna be writing, oh, hey, that one fat comic was an asshole on the comment card. Never gonna be back at that club again. All right, so let's get into the let me ask you. This is a segment where I'm going to go over some
oh,
questions with you. You can answer them. We can talk about it. Some things like kind of happening, and just like to hear what Sean Grant has to say. Do you believe in aliens, and if so, how close are we to them landing and just fucking saying, "All right, we're here."
you know what? Let me be cool about it. All right. So the short answer is no, but I don't disbelieve in them, right? Like I've had
Right?
too many conversations driving with comics to where they're just trying to convince me and show me this stuff, and I'm like, all right, dude. Like, and I do want to get your opinion on this, Dougie. But my thing is, because a lot of people know I believe in Jesus, right? People are like, how you gonna believe in Jesus? You don't believe in aliens? And I'm like, dude, believing in Jesus helps me. Like that helps
Yeah,
me. What do believing in that? Do the aliens believe in you? Are they talking about
yeah,
you? But even if they do exist, I feel like we're getting to the point now where let's say they come and they join our society, right? And we'll get so used to them so fast that it won't even be a story for a month, dude. Like I think there was
yeah,
a guy doing a Senate hearing about UFOs and nobody gave a shit. Like I was hey, doing a show that night, like guys, apparently there's a dude like nobody heard about this, and everybody's like, I don't know what the fuck you're
yeah.
talking about. That's
Yeah, the
crazy,
whistleblower, the whistleblower for the
right?
testimony that we actually have alien, like Roswell is a true story. Well, look,
Yeah,
I
you
listen.
believe?
I do believe in Jesus like yourself, and I love the analogy. Of
Yeah,
course, believing in ET doesn't help you as much as it helps in believing in in the true Christ. And if you don't, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? It's just I
yeah,
do, and you know what I mean. And but I also listen. Not only do I believe in aliens, I think they're here.
yeah.
I think the current administration is infiltrated with lizard people. I think there's a few different ones. I think there's a few different ones, and they're actually brokering for this land, just like China. America's trying to get the polar ice caps. Russia, there's
Right.
aliens going. We want that spot. Fuck you. It's ours. That'd be funny. Next time we get together, you and I should dress up with whatever we think an alien looks like, and we should
Right.
over Bal- fight over Baltimore. Who's going to get Baltimore?
Oh.
Which one of us? All right, which one of us? Um,
Yeah, oh my God. No, and I'm with that. I mean, look, and some people are like, well, why is it in the Bible? How do you believe in the Bible? Look, the Bible is the story of people. So there could be aliens.
Right.
Like who knows? Like
Yeah.
he just wasn't. It's a different Bible for them, I guess. Like it's
Yeah.
not even a story of God. God was, and so then who knows? There could have been other universes. The whole story is about people and our journey and shit like that.
Right.
So yeah,
Our
it could
portion.
totally be aliens. Totally be aliens.
Yeah.
Who knows, man?
Well,
Totally.
ancient alien theorists would say yes.
For
I love that
sure.
show, Ancient Aliens, and they have there's depictions that I love some of those things. Like it's clearly an alien with a breathing apparatus. No, maybe it's just a guy wearing a head fucking thing, like feathers. Yeah, maybe
Just a
that's what it
really
is
bad
too.
artist. Like a motherfucker, he
Yeah,
doesn't know how to.
what do you want me to do? It's not like I
he was
have
like,
like a scripto pen.
he was like 6 years old and shit. It's just fucked up art that somebody made at school and gave to his mom, and
Exactly.
it
He's using a
lasted.
petrified turkey feather and a fucking like brick, rock, to carve this fiction. Give the guy a little, that's
Hey, give us some
funny.
slack, man.
Yeah. I think it's funny too. It's actually this isn't funny. I mean, you live in LA, right, Ari? Don't you live somewhere in California?
I live in Inglewood. Yeah, yeah. Black
Yeah. Okay.
LA.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. It's unfortunate, but I'm writing this thing. It's more of an opinion piece, but I'm going to try to get comment. But the modern day ghost towns, the next modern day ghost towns, of which San Francisco, L.A., Portland, Seattle. There's basically some areas that are potentially going to be in that situation. What do you
Oh
think?
wait, so you know what? I thought my bad. When I read the comment, I thought it said modern town. So a modern ghost town. Wait, oh shit.
Yeah,
What does that
like
mean?
a modern
Everybody
day
will
ghost town.
abandon? Oh,
No, there'll
like
be
so
a lot of
everybody's gonna.
homeless people and drug addicts and just
Right.
basically,
Oh
there
yeah,
won't
that's
be any
us.
businesses, you know?
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, if you go downtown, man, it's it's like they have their own world, the homeless, like,
Yeah.
but it's almost in a way more not more organized, but it's organized. Like they know
Yeah.
because it has to be because they don't want to. You're almost safer parking around, where a homeless encampment is in some ways because like they want to make sure that nothing happens to your car because the police know who to harass, who lives in this area. It's zoned off in such a way that man, some of these tents, dude, they got generators in them. They got
Yeah.
like it's just an outdoor living situation damn near. They have their own systems of barter and they party. And I had a homie. I don't know if you ever met this guy. His name was Big Sonic. He was a comedian, but he chose to be a transient. He's somewhere in
Really?
Ohio. He because of yeah, he's locked. He got locked up at some point. Dude named Bernard Dabney, and I thought he died or something, but he's alive. Somebody found him through like an inmate locator thing. But
Hmm.
yeah, he just straight up. He was a decent comic. He had good jokes and stuff. But he started saying like weird stuff, and I don't know. I was going through stuff. Yeah, you know how it is. There was a little bit of grief in my life early on. It was my first bout with it. Uh, not to yeah. But I just didn't know what I was. I wasn't listening to nobody. Like I was like, okay,
Right.
man,
Right.
and I think I'm gonna go off the grid. Okay, I didn't know what that meant back then, but yeah, he's gone to the point where his family started contacting me some years later. Like, have you heard from this dude? And I was like, oh no, and so that's I kind of made an effort to figure out, and he's out there. So some people like this shit, man. They like being,
Yeah.
in that world. I
If
guess.
if you've never been in that position, the first time I ever sold a home, like I had a house and I sold it, and I basically rented an apartment on the beach for 6 months in Pompano or some shit. And the minute I
Oh
relinquished
shit.
myself from ownership, like the bill, like the electronic bills, like it was one, the rent. I didn't have, the exterminator, the electric, the cable,
Yeah.
all these other things, these albatrosses of things, that keep you bound, And but they were
Right.
talking about how you're right. It's so organized that people are like, hey, if you want to party, get free drugs, get a couple meals a day, not have to work, sleep whenever you want, do whatever you want, and come to California and be homeless. You're taken care of. So,
yeah. You go to
but yeah,
Venice
that's
Beach. Hell yeah.
yeah. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, so that's the thing, the idea that there are a lot of these places are eventually not going to be a place of commerce. Businesses will leave, but it'll just be
Ah,
eventually. It's like the opposite of gentrification. It's junkification.
yeah.
I don't know.
Junkification.
Fucking yeah, junkification. All right. So my next question for you, sir, is: would you trust
Yeah.
a self-driving car? Would you, if you were in a car and it picked you up and there's nobody behind the wheel, would you trust that? Are you okay with that?
Not more than me, but more than my wife. I can't sleep when my wife is driving and shit, man. I can't really sleep when anybody's driving me. Like I can't. But I
Yeah.
feel like if I could blame Elon Musk, if I get my if I get fucked up in this car and I'm getting a paycheck from Elon, then I'm chilling.
Yeah.
I'm relaxed. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, well, I mean, hopefully it's not gonna be a fatal crash. It's not nothing crazy, but at least, and that's the weird thing too, because you can't even brace for it. Sometimes I watch these car chases on YouTube, dude, and you
Yeah.
don't know these motherfuckers running red lights trying to get away from the cops. So it's not the car's fault, but at least when you're driving, you can kind of brace for that shit. You kind of maybe see impact coming or something. So that's got to be,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess you still got to put your seatbelt on or something. But have you been in one? I ain't got the money like you. I got a Prius. I got a Prius. I'm very proud of my Prius. But I don't
Yeah.
know. You got
Yeah.
a Tesla?
No, I don't have a Tesla. I have an Acura and like a Jeep, but yeah, but
Yeah.
here, two things. You're right. First of all, as for bracing, is sometimes it's bad for the people
Yeah.
that see the accident coming versus the person who doesn't. Sometimes your body in fluid motion handles impact better than it does in a rigid motion.
Ah,
It's like even in fighting, you see those guys want to fight, like, come on, bitch, let's
right.
fucking fight. And you're like,
Instant.
oh, this motherfucker.
Uh,
I'm just gonna,
yeah. Let your shoulders
the
down.
guy's gonna,
Yeah. Be loose.
yeah, just relax, like fucking pa, pa, pa. And
Yeah.
so you don't want to be rigid, number one. But listen, I in my car, I have this, it's you can't just turn it on and go to sleep. Basically, you turn on one button, it controls the speed. You got another button that the lanes come up, and basically you press it at 45 miles an hour to hold with the cameras, it'll hold the lane for a certain amount.
Okay.
I call it my bong hit feature. So basically when I'm driving, it gives me enough time to just like set it all up,
Yeah.
pack a
The
ball,
ganja.
and then get the lighter.
Yeah.
Oop, steering. Grab the handle. I got it.
You,
I think.
you deserve it, baby. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Come
I love
on.
that feature. Um,
That's in the Acura or the Jeep?
that's in the Acura. Yeah, the Jeep is.
Oh,
You know, it's
nice.
actually now the wife was the Jeep was my, well, I bought it and my wife let it was my wife's car, and I had the Acura. Now I have both cars. So I want to get rid of them both and get one really nice car. You know,
Nice.
and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have family
yeah.
members saying I want the Jeep. I'm like, I got family members asking for my wife's Jeep.
Right.
It's hilarious. Yeah, dude, we'll get into
That's
that later.
crazy.
Any
Right.
rate, let's move
Yeah.
on. Bronny James,
What
heart
did
issue. LeBron James' son had a heart
you,
attack, had a
yeah.
cardiac arrest.
Holy shit.
Do you think it was from?
Holy
Do you think it was from COVID, the vaccine? You think that's a vaccine? Cardio.
Damn, dude.
You think this is it?
I don't know. I mean, look, I just know that those kids, man, nowadays these kids play basketball year freaking round, man. And I feel like his
Yeah,
dad had, shout out to him trying to keep up with his pops, man, because he's a very good basketball player. But that is a huge standard, dude, to try to be one of the, your dad is like the greatest basketball player of all time. So I feel like he's trying to push himself beyond, being like
yeah,
a rich kid. I feel like, look at Jordan's kids. They don't give a shit. I mean,
yeah.
they're good enough to play college. I think one of them played at UCF or
Right.
something like that, and the other one's having sex with Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. Or scandalous
Yeah.
subject.
I mean, Mike's not happy about it.
Yeah, he ain't feeling it. But I mean, they're underachievers. They accepted their role. I am not gonna be that guy. So I'll just be a
Yeah,
regular dude and spend my dad's money and whatever it is, right? And enjoy the life. I feel like LeBron's son's probably driven to try to be like him, or wants to be great. And you can still be a great person, like somebody great. If you may not be that guy, right? You can't be him again, but he had different motivation. He was broke, right?
yeah.
I don't
He
know.
didn't have
Did you
the
have?
tiger. It's like
Yeah,
he didn't have the
yeah,
eye of the tiger, like Rocky. He got all that money, he had a robot, he had a big house. He didn't give a fuck. That's why
right.
Clubber Lang beat the fuck out of Rocky because he was like, "Yo, I got all this money, I'm wiping my ass with
Yeah,
$1,000 bills." So, yeah, definitely.
yeah.
And yeah, you're right. I mean, it's interesting that decision. Like, it's one thing. Imagine if your pops was like Red Fox, or somebody like,
Yeah,
my dad was fucking Rodney Dangerfield. Like, would I really want to be a cop?
yeah,
Like, you look at guys like Chris Farley's brother, is trying to
right,
follow his brother, and why not take
all
advantage
right,
of that, but
right,
yeah, man, it's interesting. He's definitely. I mean, that's got to be.
yeah,
What are the odds? I mean, can you imagine if he ends up being like the next phenom? Oh my God, the son of a phenom. I don't think
right.
that's going to happen. I don't, but
He's a
nevertheless,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
good
he's
for
doing his
him.
best. He went to USC. That's pretty good. I mean, speaking of comics, though, I will say, well, all right, Mason Pryor was I'm a nice guy. Met him a few times. Super nice guy, down to earth. But he wasn't. He
Yeah,
didn't live up to his pops. He got booed at the Apollo. Was his last thing, and it's not about the getting booed because his pops got booed. A lot of people get booed, But it's the
right.
fact that I don't think he's been at it as much since, right? Like, because that's the difference. It's the heart to keep getting up. Like, why would I do that if I was rich?
Yeah,
Tony Rock is pretty good. I'll give him props. I feel like in many ways he surpasses Chris just in like certain ability, not obviously legendary status and writing, but he's
yeah,
really good with his crowd work. His flipping a moment, he's a genius. Like he's very,
yeah.
very good. I haven't seen Chris Farley's brother. Can you think of any other family comedy things like not brothers together, but like maybe in different
Or like
generations,
family
like father
members. Yeah.
son? I can't think of any
No,
other
I
father
mean, well,
son.
yeah, the
Oh,
brothers Gal who?
oh, I was gonna say
No, I was just
Ben Stiller and his dad was a comedian, right? Ben
yeah,
or his
Stiller and
parents were
Mirror, his pops,
right,
his dad was George Costanza's dad in Seinfeld.
right. Oh, his
That's Ben
dad is
Stiller's real
hilarious,
father.
but that's
Yeah,
not
dude.
That's not stand up comedy. I
He's
think
an
that's
actor.
more like
Y Yeah,
yeah.
it's funny, I never saw Tony Rock, never saw him, dude, but yeah, I never saw Farley either, a couple times, but yeah, it's just gotta be weird, like, it's like here's a weird thing, my father was a soccer goalkeeper, my brother then
Oh,
I became a goalkeeper, and I'm writing a joke about it now because 'cause I'm only 5'8". For the world of soccer, a goalkeeper is basically the forward on a basketball team. It's one of the tallest people on
right,
the fucking team, and I'm,
right. You got a little.
but my dad had me doing like jumping in sandboxes. We were young, we
Was
were
he
jumping in
tall?
sandboxes. No, my dad was
Yeah.
like 5'9", maybe my height, a little tall.
Oh,
He'd have us hanging, dude. He'd have us hanging from fucking the bar. Like, don't worry, you're gonna be six
that's
foot two
smart.
before you know it. So you're just hanging out. Hoping
Oh
I
my
get taller.
gosh, man.
Yeah,
Oh my
dude.
gosh. Yeah, it's tough to
I'm
live
trying to
up
write.
to yeah. Was he
Yeah, dude. But
what are you nationality? I'm sorry, bro. My bad. My curious
it's
mind.
like Spanish,
Oh
Portuguese.
yeah, that's huge. Portugal. Oh my
But
God.
but dude,
Soccer's
I don't.
huge.
I met a lot of my father's family when I went to Europe years ago, and his family
Yeah.
almost could be like we could be like Egyptian or Moroccan, dude. I would if I took one of those 22 and me, I wouldn't find out if I'm like part North African or some shit.
Word.
And then maybe I can use the N word. Then I can use the N word all of a sudden. Can you
Yeah.
imagine?
Come
Oh,
on,
it would
man.
be
You might be
horrible.
related to Hannibal or somebody like that. Hell
All
yeah,
right,
man.
let's get on with hey, does age matter when it comes to our politicians? I mean, look at the week we had. Ben rolled
Jeez.
this fucking clip first of all of Mitch McConnell, just and then of course, I mean, yeah,
Well, good afternoon, everyone.
hmm
We're on a path to finishing the NDA
good,
this week. It's been good bipartisan cooperation
good,
and a
okay.
string of
Uh,
Oh, shit.
uh,
Oh my God.
I feel like he's looking at some chick because her skirt's open, like some chick sitting
Right,
with a mini skirt.
right,
He's like,
right.
he can't
I
stop.
see that
He's
thing.
like, you
See
imagine some
that
like
thing.
Sharon Stone is sitting over there, like looking at him with a pen and paper.
Okay, Mitch,
He might be shitting his pants.
anything else you want
No?
to say? Or
Oh,
should we-
yeah, like,
He might have.
do you want to say anything else to the press?
Yeah, God
oh my
save the Queen.
God.
Wouldn't it be funny if Mitch McConnell said,
Look.
"God save the Queen"?
Go ahead, John.
Right.
Note the presence of a
I thought he
quorum.
was
We will
saying he's
now
gonna get
vote
rid
to
of the
report the
NBA.
Defense Appropriations Bill
Like, damn,
favorably,
Mitch.
subject
Watch
to
now. This
amendment.
is
Clerk
look
will
at this
call the
poor
roll.
lady. I mean,
Oh, I didn't see this.
this is Feinstein, Senator Fein. Look at. I mean, watch this poor woman.
Pardon me?
Aye.
Yeah.
Just say
I would like to support a yes vote on this.
Just say yes.
It provides
aye.
823 billion. That's an increase of 26 billion.
I thought we had the
for
close up on it. That
Department of
sucks.
Defense.
Oh,
And it
can't even tell which one
funds
she's about to fall
priorities
asleep.
submitted.
There
Oh,
she
there
goes.
she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, just say aye.
Okay, just
Great,
aye.
Thank you.
Senator
All
Durbin.
right, put her back to sleep. Put her back in the box.
Uh,
I mean, come on, dude. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like
yeah.
here. It's like here, Grandma, sign the new will.
Right,
Yeah.
right. People are making big decisions, dude. And they don't
Yeah.
give a shit. They're about to be out of here.
Fucking hell, man.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
so-
Yeah.
So should there be an
I-
age limit cognitive test?
I think you're right, man. I feel like it's got to. Yeah, exactly. It needs to be some
Yeah.
type of, and it doesn't have to be bias in it, like just cognition, just straight up. Not even how
Yeah.
much information you know, but how
Yeah.
much, how long can you stay awake? Like, do you know what the hell's going on? How much do you care about what's going
How
on?
f-
Because
How functional
you
are
know,
you? You know, just like a comic,
right.
you expect the comic to deal with some fucking heckler. I expect my politician to know where to sign,
Right.
where to speak, what to say. You know, I mean, poor Joe
Yeah,
fucking
'cause
look at Joe Biden falling all over the place and not
all
knowing
off
where
his
to stand.
shit,
I mean,
man.
it's just
Can't even ride his bike. Oh, bitch. No, but
come
you know
on.
what? And I see comics too, like, and I won't say names, but like, well, all right, I'll say Carlin before he. I'm like, you know, it's an audience. It's different, right? When you pay to see something, if you don't mind him looking at his notes and you're his fan, right? That's one thing, you know. And
Yeah.
because these people
Yeah.
are making a choice to continue to. So in a way, we're making that choice, I guess, by electing them, but not, you know, like you said, we should know the cognition. That's very important to that
there's a-
choice because, yeah,
There's a big difference. You and I get hired. We get hired per venue, per show.
right,
When the president, he gets hired once 4 years, and then he gets, you know, so the equivalence would be like you and I getting hired on contracts over 4 years, you know,
right,
one
right.
twice a, you know, and then we get to do whatever the fuck we want. There's no questioning what we're doing, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
Remember Pablo
know-
had a thing? Do you remember that when Pablo Francisco? I think he's okay now, but it was like it was in the news.
He had a meltdown,
he
right?
Did like a meltdown, like a brain, like almost similar to what happened to Mitch McConnell just there, like, and he starts saying jokes out of order and like being like, it was
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, that was
On stage,
crazy,
yeah.
dude. On stage in
Yeah.
front of people, man. Holy shit. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's cognition, and I'm sure he's okay now. I haven't heard.
You brought
know,
you
great
brought that up
com-
about notes. Let me ask you this real quick. One of the last questions.
Yeah.
Oh no, we do have. 'Cause we had another show. You know, notes on stage. You know, no, right? And listen, like you said, unless you're a headliner saying, "Look, I'm working on a whole new hour. If you don't mind, I'm going to
Right.
look at some of these notes." But basically, any comic that's doing a show and it's not an open mic should not have notes on stage. I mean,
I'm with you, man. And I'm one of these,
All right.
you know, hey, man, I'm one of these get off my lawn. I guess I've been doing comedy 18 years. So when I see a guy in shorts, unless you fluffy, but when I started, people would criticize you if you didn't have on a suit. If you weren't like Kings of Comedy dressed up at a club or something like that, people would say that's not how you do comedy. You should be formal wear. So it evolves, I suppose. But yeah, there's certain things,
Yeah.
man, where it goes back to that be professional, man. You showed up to a job, know your damn jokes, right? Because how can you create the
Yeah.
rhythm necessary, you know,
Yeah.
for a show? Like, especially if you're showcasing, like you said. If it's working out, one thing. But if you're showcasing, you want to keep working here and you're reading, get the hell out of here, dude. Are you looking at the notes on your
Yeah.
hand? Fuck.
There's a
Sorry,
comic, the
man.
funny comic out of South Florida. He used to play the guitar. He's a funny dude, but he always, and it was God bless him because he always had the notes in the back of his guitar, so he'd go like that. And he was a friend of Perry Sachs. I don't know, I'm blanking on his name, but he would do it, and and Perry like, yeah, but it's. I'm like, dude, but he's doing the same jokes for 5 years. I mean, it's you know what I mean. And I have a philosophy that it's like, well, listen, if it's not funny enough to remember, it's probably not funny enough to laugh at. In
Right.
that
Is this
sense,
the
and like,
same dude that
and
got his
like,
ass kicked?
no, oh, Perry
Different
Sachs.
guy? Oh
Oh
no,
no,
I
no,
thought the
no,
guy
no,
playing
no.
the guitar again.
Why can't I? Rick Corso. Rick Corso is the guy who Rick Corso he's at a cruise ship comic, been around years. Rick
Oh,
Corso.
okay.
He's out of South Florida. He does Al Pacino,
Uh,
all kinds of great impressions and shit. But
yeah.
yeah, he was the headliner that night. So, at any rate, yeah, so that's that. And our last question to you:
Yeah.
what is up with where was Carly Russell for 48 hours? If you don't know, Carly Russell was our Jesse Smollett woman from, I guess, in Georgia, I think it was, that claimed that she saw a baby walking on the
Yeah.
highway, and she stopped, and then eventually she got abducted, and good looking girl there, probably just looking for attention,
Thick.
but she lied. She was gone for, no one knows. She didn't say where she was for 48 hours, basically 2 days. Her boyfriend seemed to have a lot to say, but so where do you think she was for 48 hours while she was missing,
I have a theory, man.
Sean?
I'm not big on conspiracies, Dougie. I'm not huge on them, but I feel like she was working with the sheriff. She was working with that Alabama sheriff because how did that dude? Did you see his suits during the press conferences? That dude was
Oh,
Craig Sager fresh. That dude had on. He had some clean ass
yeah,
lavender, bright color suits that he knew black people because he knew black people be watching, and we love
yeah,
those kind of suits, man. He had his Easter
fucking,
vest to do these sets. So I'm like, oh, he's doing this because he wants to run for like some type of big government
there you go.
office, and so he hired Carly to do this bullshit. I don't know, but I feel like it stems
Dude,
like from like attention,
you
man.
had
Like,
me there, dude. You had me. I'm like, that sounds like
oh,
a
I was
great
with you.
fucking,
Oh,
like,
bullshit.
I was like,
Just
yeah, what better way to get attention than wearing them we're coming out with them fucking suits,
oh, he was clean, man.
dude, how true is that? All
Do
right,
you wear suits like
we
that,
got,
Dougie? Do you own one?
no, no, I own I used to wear
Oh,
suits every day when I was a financial advisor, up until
uh,
2010, working in the banks and making a shitload of money.
money
Suits, ties every
fiduciary.
fucking
Yeah,
day. Now, yeah,
yeah,
but now this is I show up to client's house like this, I work by referral.
yeah.
I work with a select group of people. You know what I mean? I choose them,
All right.
and by referral, wealthy,
You
of
don't gotta
course.
impress them. They know you're good. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I met somebody one time and they're like, "You're not wearing a suit," and I'm like, "If that's going to be an issue, please let's just end the meeting right now." Because all right, let's look at some of these stories. Did you hear, everybody? Here's some stories. We're going to go through the
Ooh,
headlines and get them pretty because we had a little time. But amazing story: scientist brings $46,000 46,000-year-old worm back to life,
oh shit,
and oddly enough, I have a hard time getting a hard on in the morning anymore.
man. And
Um,
you know what I heard? I heard about this, Dougie. You know what I heard about that worm, man? He's
what?
still down to earth. 46,000
Yeah.
years old. That's so
He's
stupid.
humble.
So
He's fucking
stupid.
humble.
Yeah, the earthworm, everybody. Come on, he's still down to earth. Oh, I wrote
He came out and said,
that.
"Who's president? Who's president? Who's running the earth? Is a dinosaur still here?" Our next story: Dennis
Where's
Rodman
Jesus?
gets huge tattoo of girlfriend Yella on his face. Why not? Yeah,
Oh man,
I
look at him
mean,
with that young ass girl, dude.
uh, I mean,
Golly.
that's a horrible tattoo. Her
Yeah.
face look. There's more realism on the tattoo than her fucking face.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
and it makes his face look a lot better. I'll give him that.
oh my
Like,
god.
Dennis is messed
You know,
up, man.
dude, I always thought that when I get older, I just want my face to look like a scratch pad. Like be one of those things like you
Right.
write all your notes on every day. Like, oh, don't forget to get milk.
Like
You
an
know,
old Bible or something. Yeah. Oh
so
man, dude. He's making
yeah,
15. I made that mistake at 15. Well, I got a girl's name on my back when I was 15 years
oh,
old. Why is he 60? He's got to be 60. Why is he making those kind of 15-year-old mistakes?
dude,
That's
a
crazy.
face tattoo, a face. I mean, if you run out
Face
of
tattoo.
material, I'm going to put your face on my face.
Oh my
listen, I want a
God.
girl. I would like to have a girl sit on my face, but whether I want her on my
Yeah,
face,
not that
you know,
long. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
what a
you know,
like what a.
yeah.
Listen, unfortunately, are you single? You're married now, right? You're a married man, family, right?
Oh yeah, man, a couple years. Yeah, it's been. We
Good.
got married during pandemic. Nobody was there.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well, good for you. Congratulations. I'm single for the first time in 30 years, so I have some deal
yeah.
breakers. Yeah, I have some deal breakers. The loop, the thing in the nose. The fucking
Oh, the
earring,
little
the
nose
nose.
ball. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
that. I
Yeah.
mean, listen. If I want to be with a bovine, if I want to be,
Where
and chest
where's the most
tattoos, like
exotic place?
chicks,
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask you. Yeah,
the chicks with the
nothing
big
on the
tattoos
chest.
over their tits. Nah, we don't need any
Right.
of that.
No, nothing
You
like
know what I
that.
mean?
Can you have some on the ass? Can they have anything on it? Because you might get bored back there. We
Yeah, they
can,
can have something on the
maybe
like
some.
tramp stamps aren't deal breakers. They're not deal breakers.
What, they should have a maze, like the cereal box mazes. Somebody should put that on their ass.
Yeah.
Say
While
while
you're
you back
here.
there, yeah, while you're here, you can do something. You pencil and then scratch it
Yeah.
out.
Maybe you should sell ad space like they do in the toilets when you take a piss on the
Oh,
on the fucking rest stop. Like that's what women should start doing. They
yes,
should like boxers puts like every whore should just have like,
right.
Bill Bail bonds, you know, Jack's
Oh
late night
man,
liquor store. Yeah, not a bad
yes.
idea.
Oh my God, no, the bell bottoms, yeah, because that's what I'm going.
Yeah.
You're getting locked up. You out here with these wild women every night,
Oh my
man.
God, dude. I don't even listen. I don't even want to think about it. All right. Here, speak. This person is figuring out a way. Nurse fired for secret affair with a patient who died during sex in the hospital parking lot. Oh my God.
Man,
Nurses are hot.
jeez,
I mean, nurses can be hot. But here's a guy who's in the
Christ,
hospital. The nurse somehow sneaks him out to the car. They
listen,
fuck. He dies. All right. Now, can you imagine
look,
her? She's dead. The guy's dead. Now she knows. How the fuck am I gonna
man.
get? Like, how do I explain this?
Look, man, she
How
deserves
the fuck?
overtime, man. That's overtime.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? That's serious patient care right there, Dougie. Like, look, and
Yeah.
I appreciate anybody that goes the extra mile. My man was dialysis patient too. Like, that's old,
Y-
man. That dude was
Yeah.
like, yeah, he's up there. So, you know
Is
how
it
they say
is there a
hello,
co
nurse? He said goodbye, huh?
Yeah, he came and went. He you know,
Goodbye, nurse.
he's wondering, is it a co-payment? Is that part of a co-payment? Can I, like,
I got some good
that
insurance. Goddamn, this is
yeah,
good.
goddamn,
This is
man.
Medicare.
This is
I got that
oh,
good
damn.
Medicare. I didn't know came with all this.
Now, I'm
Golly.
just wondering because she looks hot. She looks like a sexy nurse. There
Right,
must have been other
right.
sexy nurses that probably saw the same patient and thought the same thing. So I wonder if there was any
Yeah.
others he was probably escaping from, which probably led to his death.
Yeah. He must have had some serious game, man. He must have been giving him jello. I got some extra jello. If you want.
That guy's getting more ass than I ever got out of the
Man.
hospital. Mobile meth lab found at Florida Welcome Center on I-95. Florida Highway Patrol
Damn.
and Nassau deputies responding. Yeah,
That's
resourcefulness.
all
We're talking about
Florida,
the
man.
homeless people. We are talking about the homeless
Yes.
people, but here's a meth lab at a rest stop in Florida. So,
And of course in
uh,
Florida, man. That's how you say hello. It's right there, man. Welcome. Get some bath salts.
yeah,
We teach you the Florida way, man. I didn't know that was such a big thing. Like, people really shit on us, man. You didn't. You didn't grow up in Florida. I know you spent a lot of time there.
yeah, pretty much. No, I
But,
did. I grew up in Florida though. I was from New York,
you
but we
grew
grew
up
up in
there.
Florida. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
It's a
yeah, I
Florida
didn't know
guy.
it was such a Florida man. Or like I hear jokes. A buddy of mine, Tom Clark, has a really good joke about uh, everybody going to LA from LA to Arizona and talking shit about you bringing LA over here. And the joke is, well, it looked like somebody took a big Florida in LA or in Arizona. Somebody already took a big Florida in it. Was the joke, and everybody laughs at the shit. But I'm like, yeah, everybody thinks Florida. I mean, they're right. I agree. Florida's shitty, but it's home. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I
Yeah.
get it. Yes. Is it racist? Yeah. Are there drug addicts and whatever? But yeah, dude, I don't know. I miss it. I miss these meth heads,
Um,
man.
yeah, well, you probably haven't been back that much. I see the problem is
Oh, that's
living up.
that's true too. I haven't been back for a while.
Yeah, no, you miss it because it's like when you break up with a girlfriend, you're thinking about all the good times. You're not thinking about all the times she called
Right.
you and went through your fucking phone and tried to fuck shit, like did vindictive things to you. You know, you're not
Right, broke
remembering
my
that shit.
window, called me a nigga.
Yeah,
Yeah,
scratched your
okay,
fucking
now I remember.
car. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah,
told
okay.
your friends about you come quick. You know, tell her friends. You know, like,
Yeah,
honey, that's between us. You know,
right,
but you don't
right. They
remember that
sold my
shit.
bike. I'm forgetting. I forgot all that. Now you
Yeah,
remain.
but
Thank you,
see,
Dougie. I'm not going back now.
yeah.
Fuck Florida.
Nah, dude, don't. I go. Listen, I'm going back Monday and next week, but every time I go back, because I drive here in South Carolina, it's tranquil. People don't honk their horns and shit. You move along. People are not there. People drive like they're all fucking running for the end of time. They're like, you know what I mean? Like they're all rushing to get on the last fucking lifeboat. I don't know what the fuck is going on in South Florida. Everybody's in a fucking hurry. They got to be there before you. And who the fuck and rude motherfucker. And so every time I go back,
Oh
dude,
my
you know,
god.
I go back and it reminds me of the time the girl scratched my car. It reminds me of the time, like I would never go
Oh,
back, you know, so fuck that. All right. So we got to move
you got
along
the
here.
right mindset.
Naked
You got the
woman.
right mindset. Oh, yeah.
But this is, you know, California. Naked woman gets out of car at a major Bay Area bridge and starts firing
Yeah,
a gun. This was on, I mean, you know, you talk about you not reacting when the guy walked up and picked you up on stage, but people are
right.
watching this woman like, look at her, and she starts pulling out a gun. They're like, oh my god, look at her! I'm like, bitch, she could turn the gun and point it right at you, you stupid fuck. Like I'm surprised somebody didn't get out of the car and put, you know, fucking end her. You know, 'cause I was
Right,
thinking to
right,
myself,
right.
I carry a gun, so if I'm in the car and she's unloading car, I may fucking take her down.
Yeah, yeah, man. Shoot, I mean, and if she gonna make that ass clap, she gonna make the gun clap too. She making every. Yeah. She looked like she had a nice
Soon as-
body. I mean, I guess that's what I would have been focused on. She would have shot me.
well, that's what
I'm
I
like,
think a
you
lot
nice
of
body.
guys were. They didn't give a fuck. They couldn't get their gun. They're too busy jerking off in the front seat.
Right.
You know, hey
They
man,
couldn't notice the
hey
gun
Sean,
because they
pass the
wanted.
tissues.
Yeah. Right. Exactly, man. My dumbass wife be like, "Don't look over there. The titties out." I don't know if she got a gun. I gotta look to see if she's got a gun.
Yeah,
Like, yo, you trying
yeah.
to look at the titties? You know?
I mean, that's a
Oh my
distraction. A naked woman shooting off a gun. Guys are just sitting there going, "Wow, she's got a gun," and she's naked. They don't.
god.
They're not
What
like, you
gun?
know what I mean? Yeah, what? Yeah. All right, we're gonna skip through some. No, the Japanese kabuki
Yeah,
star Ichiwa
yeah.
Inosuke indicted for assisting his parents double suicide. Boy, this guy really takes
Oof.
life to art. Art, you know.
Man,
I mean,
dude,
you know, the
Japanese people
parents are
when they
like,
do something, yeah,
Dan, they do it right. Like the parents are like,
yeah.
who can we find to help us in the haraku? You know, our
Oh
son,
my
he actor, he played someone who killed himself.
god.
Maybe we ask our son.
He
Dun,
got
dun,
some respect, man.
dun.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Like, look, if a Japanese homie tells you he's sorry, he means it. Cause they'll take their life for some, they hold themselves in some condemnation for their guilt. So I'll be like, look,
Yeah.
man, I got some Japanese homies. I'll be like, look, it's okay. Don't feel bad
Yeah,
about what you
yeah,
did, man.
yeah.
What the hell? Two
Strike one,
people
dude.
designed to commit. God, yeah, just
Yeah,
relax, okay? We can make mistakes. It's all good.
yeah.
Golly. Oh,
God Almighty. But it's funny because the guy's like, well, I am the beneficiary on your life insurance. Point to
oh, see?
yeah, fuck yeah, of course. You know,
Oh my
um,
God.
oh, good, you're dead now. I take everything. I no longer be actor. I sell Bitcoin.
Crazy.
Um,
Crazy.
I'm going to skip that story, by the way. Trump's White House doc turned GOP rep detained in Texas at a rodeo amid chaos. See, now this is a funny story because here you have a story where the former White House doctor, he was Obama's doctor, and he was Trump's doctor. I think maybe it was fucking Bush's doctor. I can't remember. Anyway. So this guy's, he's at a rodeo, and there's a 13 or 14-year-old girl that needs medical attention. Somebody he knew who was a nurse grabs him, says this girl needs medical attention. And then when the cops see this guy fondling this young teenager, they think he's, Kevin Spacey or
Oh.
something, and they fucking arrest the guy. And he's like, "I'm a fucking doctor. Well, why do you got your lips on her titties?" Listen, it's a very new technique of reviving
Right.
somebody. It's called
Gotta breathe it
motorboating
into the
her.
nipple. Right. Oh
Motorboating
man.
has been proven to bring young women back to life. Uh,
Dude, yeah. I watch these like videos online where these people fuck with cops. And a lot of cops don't know like the law low key. Like they just be locking people up. It's actually there's like a whole dark side of the internet where you watch people. Their whole job is to fuck with cops and make them and try
Yeah,
to get them
yeah,
to arrest them uncivilly or some shit like that. But yeah, this dude's got a little lawsuit on hands. Hopefully the girl was okay. I mean, hopefully
yeah. I think
they
eventually they realized their
took
mistake, and but I'm
good.
saying he must have felt like a black. He must have felt like a black man done being like all of a
Right.
sudden they just assume the guy's robbing the fucking place. Which leads me to
Yeah.
this is a great story. The last story: Georgia cop surprises boy with PlayStation after police were called on him for offering to
Oh,
do yard work. Young black kid walking around the neighborhood just trying to raise money, offering to do yard work. Some neighbors got, hey, this
yeah.
guy's scamming the neighborhood, and realizing what happened, the cop ended up buying the kid a PlayStation
Beautiful.
for
Beautiful.
to show him that not all fucking people are ridiculously scared. I call it scared, fearful. Who knows? A lot of this shit now, people are all fucked up. They don't know what to think anymore. Can't trust
That made
news. You
me
can't trust what.
cry. Yeah, that made me
So
cry, man. I don't know if I got a lot of estrogen now because I'm getting older, but yeah, I cry and shit like that, man. I'm thank you for showing me that. You sent me the video, and I cried like a little bitch, man, because I'm getting up there in age, and so when I see sensitive
yeah,
stuff, I watch a lot of news. In fact, this is the most news I've experienced being on your show, man.
wow.
I don't watch. I read my Bible and I watch cops beat up people on YouTube, but other than that, I don't watch shit. So yeah, man, that was a beautiful news story. I'm glad we should have more news like that. That was very nice.
It should be. It's a great story.
Yeah,
And,
I
and to me,
wanted to talk about the
it's
Chinese guy real quick. I wrote a joke. You
yeah.
told me the
Oh
Chinese
yeah.
story. The
Okay.
guy he dropped
Oh
his
yeah.
the
Let me read.
Chinese guy dropped his pants. Okay, I'll let you bring it in.
Yeah.
You got it.
Well, yeah. The
Oh,
this is actual singer detained for dropping his shorts on stage. He's Chinese. He didn't take his underwear off. He's not crazy.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh, okay.
at a festival
Yeah,
in China's City of Rock.
you know what his name was? I researched
No,
it. His real name, I swear, I'm not bad. His name was Ding. Everybody
Ding.
saw Ding's dong. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Everybody saw Ding. His real name is Ding. I'm not bullshit. And check when I read the story on CNN, his name is Ding, and
It is.
now he's gonna change his name to Ding-a-ling.
Ding-a-ling. Well,
Yeah.
oddly enough, if you want to
Ding-a-ling.
be scientific about this, Sean, if you want to be scientific about it, if his name is Ding, Ding is not a protrusion; it's an intrusion, meaning an innie, not an outie. So if your car got dinged, it doesn't like bulb out; it bulbs in. So they didn't actually see his
Oh,
ding-a-ling. So we may have to name him Ding
oh,
Listing, Ding like Ding, Dingy, Dingy,
oh,
Dingy.
Dingy
Dingy no
Ding.
dong. So I will pay the counter. I will be the in Saturday Night Live,
Ding.
Jane, you ignorant slut, point counterpoint on that story. So,
Oh my
all
god.
right. Well, that was great.
Funny, funny,
All right.
man.
Let's associate. We're going to wrap the show up. Let's associate
Oh,
the game of wordplay, word associate. I'm going to say 5 words, basically all words in this case. And you tell me the first thing that comes to mind or thought or story and that's it. Nothing. There's no wrong
yeah.
answer. In other words, Mr. Grant, you ready?
Sir. Yes, sir. Do it,
Satisfy.
Dougie.
The first word is satisfying.
Satisfying. Satisfying. Definitely an applause break. Love to hear
Hmm.
people get together, laugh, and then applaud. Not just myself, but anytime it happens at a comedy show, whether it's for me or for another performer, it's the most because all these people clapping and doing that didn't plan it. They did it together, and it's proof to me that the soul exists because that is the combining to be able to make people do that all at once together is proof that we have a soul that can be connected through laughter.
Beautifully said. And yeah, that is amazing, right? When people ask me why I do this, it's those moments like where you say something and just like you said, collectively, everybody is in agreement. And, everybody's in that moment of like, this is where we're at all together. Couldn't say any better. All right. Our next word is proficiency.
Ooh, proficiency. Yeah, I like. You know what? That makes me think of just being on time. Okay, I don't like people who don't respect people's time. Get there early. Okay, if you can be there
Yeah.
early, why not? Okay, Jesus woke up early. Moses got up early. Abraham got up early. Get up early. Be there early. Be on time. Respect time. That's all you got.
I couldn't agree more. And like you were saying earlier about, as a comic, a professional, professionals develop proficiency in certain characters and
Yes.
behaviors, meaning you're not just doing something because you're thinking of doing it. You're doing it
Right.
because it comes naturally to you. You become proficient in something because you've done it so much. And it's a secret. Like
Discipline.
proficiency is right up there with continuity. Like, doing something all
Right.
the time, doing it right, and kind of develops proficiency. I love that type of stuff.
Dude,
Our next word
that's all I
is
believe. Yeah.
respect.
Respect. Respect. Yeah. What do I think when I think of respect? Yeah, man. Respect. I guess everything's comedy because I'm talking to Dougie right here. But yeah, man. Respect the light. Respect, which also goes to time. But respect, yeah, respect. Have respect for whatever venue it is that you're in, or whatever it is you're endeavoring in life. Respect it enough to research it. If it's comedy, if it's something else, don't think that this microwave success that they're selling you is real. You can maybe get a bunch of views or a bunch of stuff at one time, or through some stroke of luck. But to be able to sustain and to really make a mark in this business over a long period of time, respect it and respect the game, respect yourself, and work hard.
Absolutely. All right. Two more words.
Yes, sir.
Tolerance.
Tolerance, tolerance. Yeah. I can't eat. I can't tolerate certain foods, man. At this age, if I eat cheese,
Yeah.
or anything, I can feel my stomach. Like, yeah, I have a low tolerance for anything that's not
Oh,
like the five
so you
things I
can't eat
like to eat.
pizza? You can't eat
Oh
pizza?
man, no, no. I mean, nah,
Oh,
not. I'll do it, but I'll have my Tums first. Like I have to, and I
oh,
have these
okay.
chewable
Is it
candy Tums.
gotcha? Because
Yeah.
there's a coping mechanism. And our last word is deservant.
Deserving, deserving. You, Dougie, are deserving of all the praise. I thank you for showing me and showing a lot of guys the way to consistency, man. And I love what you're doing with the podcast, and I'm glad it inspired me to find one because I love how you found your own angle. It's not the show that you do is different than any other show I've been on, and you're deserving of all the praise. I found my own lane with the Bible study thing, and it took me a while because I
Hmm.
was like, what do I like? I love how you merge what you like, news with comedy, and getting to know your own fellow comics. So thank you for making me be part of that, man. You deserve praise.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. You're a great dude, man. And always been. And hold you in my highest regards, my friend. That's you are
God
deserving
bless you.
of that respect and honor. So everybody, where can they find you, Sean? Where can comics and or our fans find you and get more of you?
Yes, guys, follow me. I have a website, SeanGrant.net. You can also follow me on Instagram at I am Sean Grant and some other stuff. But also follow at Comedian Bible Study. This week, Jeff Dye joins me. We have the pre-recorded episode, but on the IG Live, which I get to do live with my buddies around the country, I'm having the always dangerous Dougie Almeida, and that's going to be IG Live on Wednesday, August 1st, but it'll be replayed on the Bible Study page, so you can always go back and check it out.
Cool.
And it'll be also on StreamYard, Facebook, and YouTube Live as well. So, yeah.
There we go. Well, that's it, guys. That's it. That's our show for today. I want to thank Sean Grant for joining us today, of course, and please check him out. Me, of course, I'm at Funny Fiduciary on Twitter and on Instagram. I mean, on the Twitter and TikTok. Yeah, how about IG? I'm at Dougie Dangerous, so please go there. I got be in Florida next week. I'm going to be on August 9th. I'm going to be at the Turtle Tavern headlining that room. 10th, 11th, and 12th. I'm going to be at Gregory's Comedy Club in Cocoa Beach. Go to DougieAlmeida.com for more dates. Going to be in Helium in St. Louis. I think it's the 17th of August through the 19th, 20, whatever it is, 17th, 18th, 19th in Helium and St. Louis, opening for Steve Chirino. Thanks, guys, so much. God bless. Stay well. And we'll be back in a couple weeks with Steve Mudflap McGrew and Brian Dunkelman. See you then.
I'm not psycho. Wake up.
Wake up.